Cheers.
Welcome back.
As he kills himself, I'm Newbooger. This is Mormid. Welcome back to the Schmucks Club. Apologize for the long break, as life has a tendency of being life and making you busy. It's how have you been? I mean, I know how you've been. I've talked to you, but they don't know how you've been. How have you been?
So I've been it was kind of a slow life for a while for me. I wasn't doing a whole lot. Still not doing a lot of social stuff because I don't know, I don't feel like the world is back yet. And I'm not ready for it. But yeah, I picked up disc golfing. I never thought there's so many things that I could start like I never thought with. Like I never thought it'd be so hard. That's one thing. I never thought it would be so hard to throw a disc. But I also never thought like how addictive it would be.
Oh, it can be.
I'm not a person to walk. I hate walking. I hate exercising in general.
Yeah, it does matter.
But when you actually like all through the summer when we were going, we went a couple times and Chris and I went almost every weekend. It was almost like I was trying to find a time during the week to go, but I knew like I didn't have anybody to go because everybody's busy, and it does take, it's a good 3 hours. It's a good 2.5
each time. About two and a half. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you're going through, actually, some of the courses, sure, but yeah, it's just hard to find that right after work or something like that. So, but yeah, I picked that up. I started a new job, just inspecting for a company. So.
Oh, you are back in the inspections.
I'm in a different part of section. I work for the housing authority.
So you actually, instead of doing your own business, you work for the housing authority, correct?
Yes.
Because you were doing inspections beforehand, right?
Yeah, I went to get into it, and then the market got pretty flooded.
Yeah.
And finding the jobs and things like that, and I actually had to really sit down and think. I had invested a decent amount of money into the equipment and into the gear, and it took me a little while to finally bite the bullet, sell what I could, return, just kind of say, okay, business is on hold, let me get my investment back. And then I just went back into the workforce. So it's got, I feel good about it though.
Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been, I mean, I've been up to stuff, but I haven't been up to much. I've been busy. I've been helping out with kids, Girl Scouts. I mean, I don't want to say that I've been like volunteering for Girl Scouts, but Anna's been coming over, and I'll have to go pick her up, and I'll have to go drop her off, and then we've been camping a lot, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. But yeah, I've been doing that, and then just
it's pleasantly tiring.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It's pleasantly tiring.
I also got COVID, which was an experience, I guess. I mean, I personally it didn't hit me like that bad myself, but I don't want to take it from anyone else's experience, but for me, it wasn't that bad. Muscle aches is what I got. Massive muscle, and like I'll be sitting in this chair and I would have to go lay down, like that draining just sitting up. You just, you're sitting there, everything's good, and then all of a sudden your hips start kind of aching and your knees start aching, and then I don't know, it's like your your shoulders have a weight on you, right?
And they're pulling your arms down, right?
Yeah. It's like,
gorilla syndrome.
And
Pulling the arms down.
And then you just go, I'm gonna go lay down, and then you go lay down, and that's pretty much how it went for me. But yeah, I got COVID. That's pretty much it. I've been working steady as usual. But that's about it. I mean, busy, but not like everybody would think you were busy. Like, no one in my family's dying, nothing like that. You know, nothing like that happened. So
just a plate full, you would say.
Yeah,
a plate full through the week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's been a lot, but you know, whatever. I'm here now.
So there was a game release that was one of my worst time life sucks that has ever been. And anybody that's not into gaming, that just means you put way too much time into times, you know, whatever. But they released the Wrath of Lich King for Classic WoW, and that's where I started. So if you picture, you know, it's just like WoW on 100% scale. I came in with only like 10 to 15% left. So everybody was already tired of all of the content. It was done. Everybody was waiting for the new one, you know, and then I went right into Cataclysm and I played. But yeah, so I knew that what is it, the Burning Crusade, the one right before Wrath of Lich King was already out, and that's what they were playing. And I was like, I thought about it a couple of times. I'm like, you know what? Nah, you know, whatever. And all of a sudden I got the email. I'll tell you what, I hate you, Blizzard. It just said play Wrath again or something like that. And I was like, from the beginning. Let's go. And then I got stuck into that, and it's a lot of fun, but yeah.
Yeah, I know how that can be. Yeah, you know what I got sucked into is I got sucked into curating a D&D campaign. That's what I got sucked into. If anybody knows, that is a time-consuming thing. So, pretty much. So we decided to play. Go ahead.
I got a donation idea. When we can get donations, we should donate to get you a 3D printer for your D&D shit.
That 3D printer, yeah.
I mean,
they've come down in price.
You're talking like a couple $100.
Yeah,
you know, you don't need an industrial one. You need a home one that's, you know, decent size. But
I wanted one. Yeah, I've wanted one for a while.
That'd be so cool, man.
But the other thing is, I'd just like to have one in general. But
fact. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I got sucked into that. We started. We were playing regular D&D, and then I was just like, man, I play so much of that. I just want to do something different, and I was going to do. So I started building Hunter the Reckoning, and
Xbox game.
It's based on the tabletop game, but yes.
So is the Xbox game based on the tabletop game?
Correct. So they're
best original Xbox game, top 5, easy.
Mm-hmm. I love Hunter. You should.
Oh my.
You should.
Hunter the Reckoning.
Though it has not aged well. I will admit that it has not aged well. But yeah, I was gonna buy Hunter the Reckoning, the new, because they came out with a 5e one. I didn't particularly care for it. I saw a lot of reviews and everything, and I didn't particularly care for it. So I made my own.
I don't know what 5e means. Is that 5th edition?
5th edition, yeah. Yep. Okay. Technically, it's 5th edition, but they actually it's the 2nd edition, but they call it 5e because that's the edition they're at with, because they make Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf and Mage.
So Hunter is
right. It's one
of them, but it's
correct. So they're
using two different naming conventions at the same time. They're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but then they're doing Hunter and Vampire and Wolf, and then back to Hunter. Is that how it works? So
yeah. So Vampire the Masquerade's on its 5th edition, right? So it's on its 5th edition. So instead of calling Hunter the Reckoning 2nd edition, they're calling it the 5th edition.
Just to match.
Correct. to match
Oh, okay. It was
what
to match.
edition. Correct.
They're not succinct. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a match. I got you.
So there's Hunter the Vigil, and there might be like a Hunter the 25th edition. I can't remember how the hell it goes. So another company built a Hunter the Vigil, which is essentially Hunter the Reckoning, but they made their own version of it, and it's almost like a copy paste. So they like literally like copy pasted the game. So anyways, so there might be more editions, but as far as I'm aware, Hunter the Reckoning First E is Hunter the Reckoning First E, and there hasn't been any other editions made since. And now they're on Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition, but it's actually the 2nd edition. And so anyways, I didn't particularly care for what they created. It's not my forte. Nothing against anyone who enjoys it, just not my thing. So I spent about 3 or 4 months essentially creating my own system, my own RPG system. So that's what I've been doing for a while. So I got sucked into that because I'm hardcore nerd D&D stuff.
Yep, that D&D and the phrase nerd are definitely intertwined.
They're within the same realm of existence.
Oh, he uses the word realm. Look at him go.
Well, fucking nerd to the end, you know, man.
D&D.
D&D. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Doing a lot of that. Been having fun with it, actually. We're on our, I think our 5th session or 4th session, and they seem to be having a blast, so I'm not complaining. Apparently I did something okay, all right.
What time frame is it set in?
Modern day, 2022.
Okay.
2022 Boston.
Of course.
Well, I know the area. I'm familiar with the area. I shouldn't say I know the area. I'm familiar with the area.
Oh, you're gonna get tested right there.
Yeah, I don't want to. I am not from Boston, Massachusetts. I've been there a lot. Okay, so I'm familiar with the area. I don't know the area. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's what I've been doing with Box, actually. Box, Verdo, and James.
Yeah, was God playing that?
Yep, God as well. I forgot to mention God. Jesus, I'm gonna get smited now.
You just used God, Jesus, and smite in the same sentence. Yes. God, Jesus,
shit.
I'm gonna get smited.
God, Jesus.
Yeah, stuff like that you would.
God damn it, Jesus Christ. Smite.
Ow, quit it.
But yeah, that's
all of a
life.
sudden it's just this really bright white light. Like you get white out on your screen and it comes back and your hair's a little frazzled.
I'm alright, guys. I'm okay.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. It was just a little bolt. It was just a tiny bolt. They were being nice.
It's like that guy that takes the hit and passes out because he coughs too much.
Yeah.
He passes out for 10 seconds and then all of a sudden he comes roaring back to life out of his chair. Yeah. You just watch a man come back from the grave, bro.
Yeah.
I love all these memes that are coming out that are now is it memorializing grandmas, but instead they're here's to the grandmas that were the smoking, bike riding, topless hippies and shit like that. You're like, yeah, people don't remember that there's a lot of those.
A lot of those, man. I don't think my grandmother was an old farming lady, so she ain't that, but trust me, I know quite a few of them. My mom was. Sorry. Yeah. My grandma, I'm old because my grandma was born in the fucking 20s, the 1920s, and my mom was from the fucking 70s, was a teenager from the 70s. So my mom was a pot smoking hippie. Kind of. But I know a lot of pot because my mom was friends with a lot of pot smoking hippies.
Right.
Yeah. And so yeah, dude. Yeah. They are the grandmas now, bro. It's hard for me to fathom that I'm that old that people's grandmas are actually, you know, older than my mother at this point. So, or younger than my mother, I mean.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Your grandmother was born in the 80s?
Yeah, you're like
For real. It's hard to believe, man.
Yeah, math broken.
Yeah, oh, dude, my head breaks every time I try to think of math. But yeah. So I know a lot of hippies, and they're cool people for the most part.
Absolutely. Anyone I've run into up here, it definitely is.
Yeah, I haven't ran into an old hippie that I'm like, oh no. And the most I'm like is like, kind of annoying sometimes.
Probably gonna smell like feet.
Yeah, or no, incense.
Patchouli oil.
Yeah,
Patchouli oil.
Yeah, patchouli. Yeah, that's another one. Jeez.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Man,
Dude.
you walk through the fairs and you get to the tents where it's all like the homemade. Really cool homemade stuff. Like you're like, dude, people put
hemp made stuff, tie-dye shirts, the hemp sweatshirts. They
heavy ass shit.
Yeah, dude, the braids, everything. Freaking, yeah, dude.
And patchouli oil.
And patchouli oil. Did you ever go into Cosmic Charlie's?
No, did I ever make it in there once?
I used to go there all the time, man.
I don't think I did.
So I used to go to Cosmic Charlie's when Cosmic Charlie's was one building on Water Street. And it was a small little shop out back. So they had it split off with, it was just one glass case in the middle, and then glass cases on the outside to the certain area where they cut it off in half essentially. And out back there was their pipes and all that stuff, and then out front was all like their hemp shirts, their beads and crystals, and their incense and all that stuff. In that place, man, it literally, if you think in your mind you're like hippie, and you step into that store, you're like hippie, and that's
slapped in the face.
Dude, the owner was one of the workers, either way, was a dude with a long beard and braided up hair, dreadlock hair. It's like, you're like, really?
You're like, did you even have to apply for this job? Or did you just walk in and never leave? I'm gonna do not even a segue. I'm gonna do a Coyote Acme anvil drop for a second here.
All right.
Chimaev Diaz. What do you think? What do you want to see? What do you think will happen? And I don't know, just middle feelings. What do you think?
So my personal feelings of it is I'm excited for it. I mean, as you know, I've always been a huge fan of Nate and Nick, but I don't know, man. So Nate Diaz's fights are way too chaotic, and it's hard to tell with him because though he never gets knocked out, he bleeds really easily from all that scar tissue on his face from the many times he's been hit in the fucking noggin, which is a lot. Like a lot. So he bleeds a lot. I don't think he's gonna get knocked out. If anything, he's gonna get submitted. But I think it's either he gets submitted or it goes to decision. It's like, it's one of those things. It's like, this is what I hope for. I hope Diaz knocks him the fuck out or puts him in a triangle. Okay. Right? Yeah. So I'm really a huge fan of Nate Diaz. But that's not what I think is going to happen. I think he's either going to get submitted or it's going to go to decision. He's going to lose.
Yeah. I think Epic would be triangle hold, double middle fingers,
Mm-hmm.
flexing. You know, obviously, I don't think you could do that against Chimaev. He's pretty good, unless I don't know if he gets that in deep and feels it, that it's like he's got it, man. And that, you know, he's gonna middle finger the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's the epic finish. Yeah, I don't know. Diaz really doesn't go for the big home run hitters, does he?
His brother never did either.
They're just soldiers that punch you
a lot
hundreds of times.
A lot.
At like 60%. Like that's a lot of 60%.
So they don't get tired.
It's awesome.
It works. I mean, how many times?
I want to see him Stockton slap him at least once.
Mm-hmm. He probably will, knowing him. Yeah. But I mean, what has it been? It's been a year and a half, 2 years since the last time he fought.
Since Diaz fought?
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, I think it has, but I can look it up while we're talking.
I know Nick had, what was his last fight was a year and a half ago, wasn't it? That was a year and a half. Yeah. But
how did he put up a fight during that?
Oh yeah, dude, he battled the whole entire time. And he took the shot straight to the face every single time too.
It was almost so hard to watch at points.
That's how all of his fights were, though. That's how all of his fights are. All of his fights were always hard to watch because he would do pounding, he would be punching people in the face, and he'd be getting punched in the face the entire time. He definitely, you could tell he's slow. Like, don't get me wrong, Nick is literally my favorite fighter of all time. I am a huge Nick Diaz fan. But he got rocked and pummeled in that match. So when was the last time Nate Diaz fought?
It was June 12th of last year, so it's been
June 12th,
over a year.
Just over a year.
Who it was?
Who was it?
The new champ, Leon Edwards.
No kidding.
And he went 5 rounds.
Yep, that sounds right.
On Leon's way up to be champ, he fought Diaz, and Diaz went decision with him. Look at that. Man.
And lost, right? He lost that decision.
Yeah.
He
lost that decision. But that's
he cannot let things go to decision. Neither one of them ever could, really, to be honest with you. They always lost decisions every time. I never understood that either. Because, I mean, sure, these guys are punching at 60%, but when you're landing 115 punches more than your opponent, how does your opponent win that decision? I never got that. Nate has got screwed a lot in decision, and you go, huh?
Yeah. Rogan was just talking about, and I'm gonna talk real vaguely about it because I haven't looked into it too much, but there's something to do with who made the initial set of rules, and that there was like definitely double check this, but I'm pretty certain of this, is that there was no actual fighters in the group of people making the rules. It was the people that ran the organization.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But there were no fighters involved. But now with world, it's all over the world. It's amazing with how big it is right now. They're starting to look into that and being like, well, they're barely scoring like fence work, which can be a huge battle, reversals and underhooks and all that stuff, but they're just not scoring it the way that like a lot of fighters would see it. So what they're talking about is getting another committee together to really get it the scoring more accurate. So when they're on the ground, how you score it, not just ground control or all this. Obviously they have a decent set right now because obviously the whole league works, but they were talking about really getting into the finite details of what happens in the fight. That way the judges that are calling it are actually scoring the technical stuff that they don't understand,
Yeah.
But it's a cool, it's on there. I know Joe Rogan was talking about it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised by that. A lot of people who make those kinds of decisions have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So
Always at an executive level.
Yeah, yes. And like the the committees and associations, like especially like for example back in the day when UFC was first coming up and they were talking about it's too brutal and they wouldn't sanction fights and shit like that,
Yep.
I mean those guys.
Joe Rogan had hair.
And Joe Rogan had hair, nice lock of hair too, bro.
He did. He had great hair. But you know what's really cool is he looks more like a badass without it, which is kind of neat. He looked good with it, and then you're like, damn it.
Just because he is a badass.
Look in the negative. Yeah, he really is a badass. What are you watching?
Anything I can watch. I don't have any shows particularly that I watch.
You don't follow anything. You just kind of mishmash. You know the word. You know
mishmash. No, I can't say it. Mishmash. Jesus Christ. Mix.
Nope. Keep going.
But I haven't been watching. The last thing that I was really watching was Suits and True Detective. Those were the last.
I've seen portions of both shows.
Yeah. But that's about it. I haven't. I'm Rick and Morty. That's the shit I'm into. I if I want to watch it, I want to laugh.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. We've been following up with House of Dragons.
Oh yeah. I've been watching that with Box. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we've been watching that with God there. So it's all going along.
I didn't watch. Game of Thrones. Yeah, I never watched it, so I don't have a perspective on it. But House of the Dragon seems okay.
Yeah. So the only thing that you're missing, which isn't a big thing, there's when people introduce themselves, you have the aha moments because it, like a lot of medieval shows, it's all about the family names. It's all about the family name. So actually, yeah, you're watching it. You can tell just how this writer portrays it. Like, it's all family. So so when they're introducing themselves in House of Dragons, these are the like ancestors of all the people that everybody from Game of Thrones knows. So when you hear Lannister, you don't know anything that family did over the course of 7 seasons. I don't know how many. I forgot how many there are.
So honestly, that's not necessarily true because I haven't been watching Game of Thrones, but I could probably tell you some of the crazy shit the Lannisters have done. I mean, I think that show is literally that popular that even if you don't watch the show, you know what the Lannisters have done, and you know who the Lannisters are. Memes, right? Yeah, memes, shorts, clips, like shit on YouTube or whatever. I think that show is popular enough that people have seen that. I've seen a couple episodes. One of the episodes one of the clips, I should say, that I saw was when the dwarf was in the castle of the queen's sister. The one that had the little kid on her teat, and he was like 10 years old. That sister, the crazy queen, or whatever the hell they call it. And it was the one where they're up in the sky, and he's like, I invoke whatever, where he has to like fight his way. He has to win the fight against one of her best soldiers to leave, and some dude volunteers to be his soldier, and apparently they end up having a friendship, workmanship, hired mercenary. Friendship. But that's a pretty good episode to watch. Yeah, I mean the fight was interesting because I just remember the dude, spoilers, dying and getting kicked out of like this sky hole or something, and they were like, yeah, dude. I was like, that's cool. I'm gonna throw that in a D&D campaign. Yeah.
And spoiler over. You should put the little thing here if you were that ambitious.
The spoiler. I mean, it's been out for how long now? If you haven't seen it, then go.
Spoiler alert on you.
Yeah.
And completely random again. So that cup reminded me. Have you seen the new cup? And it's not even going to be advertising, which is funny because I don't know what it's called. But you can put any size can in it, and you can screw the lid on it, and it's like an igloo, but it's not from igloo. It just stays cold.
My wife has one.
All day.
Yeah, my wife has one.
Nice.
Yeah, she has. She actually bought it in the kit. So there's one where you can put the can in, and then you can buy another one that you can put a bottle in.
Oh, a bottle.
Yeah, like a beer bottle, whatever you want to put for a bottle in there.
Dang, that's cool, dude. Yeah, I saw those. I think I saw it on like Wish or something. That's why I was like, or on Facebook advertising.
They definitely work. If you order it from Wish, I guarantee you whatever you receive is going to be the exact item that you ordered, and it's also going to be top of the line, and you're going to get it dirt cheap. Don't order your shit off Wish. Whatever you do, don't do it. Don't do it.
If you see something, here's a little Google hack. If you see something on Wish and you screenshot it, for anybody that uses a computer, it's easier because you can drag a picture into the Google search bar and let it go, and then that'll also tell you who else sells it.
Yeah.
When I found the picture drop in Google, I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
So, yeah, don't order your things on Wish.
No.
Whatever you do, don't do it. My God, don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Don't. Unless it's like a couple of cents, because you know what I have? I have purple maple seeds. It has purple bark and purple leaves. Supposedly.
You need to grow this tree so I can see it.
They were free. I got 2 sets. One of them's supposed to have like a pale bark and then like a bluish tinge on the flowers. So it's almost like a white with blue, but it's like a pale blue. We'll see, man. I've never seen blue flowers in my blue leaves. Well, I've seen them in the process of dying, like that split second where you're just.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it and it's blue, and you look away and you look back, it's dead.
Yeah. Welcome to Maine. We see dead maple leaves all the damn time.
Yes.
I got a couple maple trees out back that I actually tap for syrup.
Do you tap?
Yeah, every once in a while. We haven't
done the process in that. Once you get the sap.
The sap, you pretty much put it in a giant pot and boil it until it thickens to the thickness you want, and then you dump it out in a usually like they sell strainers that you can do it in, but you can you put it in like a metal strainer with a bunch of coffee paper thingies, the coffee filters. Yeah. And you just dump it. And what else do people use? People use cheesecloth. Cheesecloth is yeah. But yeah, you dump it in that while it pours into your bottle or your mason jar, and that's the boiling process.
And that comes out sweet.
Yes. Yeah. You're boiling out the water. So when you tap a tree, number one, the rain gets in your bucket, and the maple out of the tree is liquid that it has a mixture of water in it. So you're boiling all that out
just to get so you're actually drinking sap, basically.
If you drink it, yeah, and it tastes sweet.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So you can drink the sap right out of the tree, like in your bucket, and drink it, and it'll taste sweet like maple syrup.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does.
It'll just be water. It'll be like maple.
But it's water, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I remember this from my childhood, and I haven't found anybody around that's done it. And when I say it, everybody thinks the wrong stuff. But it's maple taffy, and I guess the best way to say it would be fresh, soft, very pliable maple taffy. So this taffy you can pour on clean snow. I say clean snow because back then we were kids and it didn't really matter. But you would pour it across the snow so it'd cool.
Yep.
And you would take your fork and roll it right up, and it would make like the closest thing I've ever found to the consistency, but terrible for you, is the liquid lollipops.
Maple sugar.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
So, but anytime you say maple taffy, people, it's always hard candies. It's maple taffy or taffy, and it's
Yeah.
not like that. It was actually
Brittle. It
like-
was brittle, yeah.
no,
Usually.
soft. No,
Mhm.
no. It remained like
Sometimes it is. Sometimes.
It was
Dab.
like dab. It was like the
It's
like
maple
when you-
dab.
Reclaim.
Yep.
Reclaim. It was just like Reclaim.
Mhm.
The consistency of Reclaim, and it stayed that way. But if you used it too much, it would start to crystallize.
Mhm.
So it must have been right at the end of a boiling point, right before you. I don't know how you get to the crystal part of it, but yeah, if you moved it too much, it crystallized. So, but oh man, my mom found it from some farm somewhere and got it shipped in one time, and it was good. But
Yeah,
man,
we've made it before here.
That's crazy. People call it something when you put it on snow. It has a phrase.
It's maple sugar. They call it maple sugar. It's making maple sugar. Yeah, even though it's not like sugar, it's like you're saying, it's the consistency of a dab almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've made that outside before. We did it with Anna, and it was
so good, bro.
It does. It tastes good. Yeah, but we'd go out. We'd take a pan, one of our pans, deep dish pan, put snow in it, and then we'd take our syrup and we pour it in a line on the snow. And when it cooled, it would cool into that like dab consistency.
That's sticky.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And we grab it and we eat it right off.
that's good.
Welcome to Maine.
Welcome to Maine, no joke.
If
that's not Maine.
Yeah, dude.
Holy smoke.
When you can sit down and talk about maple syrup and doing things to maple syrup and making it Canada, Maine.
This was an old man who made it on the road that was behind the IGA, which is now some big ass supermarket compared to what it used to be in Green.
Yep.
202 in Green.
Yep.
It was an old guy who had a house right there, 2-car garage, and one half of the garage was where he had like the boiling shit, where he used to make it down into the syrup stuff and
Sugar Shack.
Yeah, he had a sugar shack. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, it was just some old man.
Yeah.
And it was odd. It was just really cool. Like that's such a nostalgia thing. You won't see that anymore. You know, somebody will come around and be like, "Hey, he's using the snow that's not his, and it's Mother Nature's, and there's probably germs." And you're like, "Oh my God, shut up."
So we interesting thing. So we went to New Orleans during, because there's always Maine Maple Sunday every year, and that's when
they're up here.
Up here, Maine Maple Sunday.
Okay, you're talking about up here. Okay, yeah.
Not New Orleans, New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
I thought you were just trying to connect with people from there and pronounce it the way they do.
Fuck. Nolans. Nolans. Anyways, not New Orleans.
New Orleans.
For anyone who doesn't know, New Orleans is a historian spot where like a lot of school kids go to learn how people cooked, how they farmed back in the 1800s. School, they have like a little school, old-fashioned school, and these people dress up like they were from the 1800s, and they teach you how to farm using all the old tools. There's an old like farmhouse that you can go through. But we went to New Orleans for Maine Maple Sunday, and they actually have a shack out in the woods, and you can go there and they show you how they used to boil sap and what their sugar shacks look like. It's like a hut made out of stone with a giant stone furnace, I guess you could call it, or giant stone boiler. And it's this big metal thing where, you know, they load it up in certain stages and it boils, and as it gets to the next rack, it's a little bit less. Like, it was really cool to see. Those are the things you find up in our state, man. They teach you how things were back in the day, not how you kids are with your cell phones and internet.
If the world goes without any correction, where we'll be back to very soon when the electricity gets shut off.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get into it.
That Switch getting flipped.
Nope, not gonna do it. Not this episode. Not this episode. I'll do it next episode. We'll talk about California.
Like, jot it down.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna talk about what was the last movie you watched, new or you've seen it 1,000 times, doesn't matter.
Reign of Fire.
Oh, the Christian Bale movie.
Yeah, Christian Bale, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, really is. I like that. That was a good movie.
That was a really good movie.
Showman.
I love that movie. That movie was awesome. No, Reign of Fire.
Reign of Fire. Yeah, Reign of Fire.
I don't know. Greatest Shepherd? Is that what you said?
Greatest Showman?
Showman. No, haven't seen it.
Hugh Jackman, main character.
Yep, I know the movie. Haven't seen it.
Okay, I just need to know that you knew the movie.
Yes. I know what you're talking about. I know the movie. I'd never watched it though. You know me. I don't like musicals.
I was like, last musical you've watched.
Last musical I watched was probably Rent. No.
Okay.
Well, if you want to consider Disney, I guess.
No, I like that you didn't consider Disney. I figured you would.
I consider that kids cartoons.
Okay, so Rent. No, there you go.
But Rent was the last one that I watched, and I thought it was atrocious and terrible, and I wanted to burn it. The DVD, not the set, not the actors. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the DVD that I was watching. Calm down.
That you purchased and you owned, and it was your property.
No, it was my cousin's property, but
okay.
Same thing. Yeah, I know the person. They probably would have been like, "What the fuck are you doing? You owe me money for that movie," and I would have been like, "Here's the money." It was worth it because it was terrible.
Like, it's not worth it. I will give you what I think it's worth.
Yeah. That Rent was definitely the last musical that I watched. Because I did not watch Cats when that came out. Cause that
good.
Right.
Into the Woods. So this is what sucks, is that it also has James Corbett in it. But I think that's why he went for the other one, because in all honesty, I don't know if I was sick or I was just like high on a weekend or something.
Yep.
But I remember being like, "Oh wait, this is a musical. Let me," and I basically said, "I'm gonna give it 10 minutes at a time." You know what I mean? I mean, like I'm gonna get maybe 20 minutes into this, but actually, for some reason, it caught my attention. It's like an adventure. So, and he's not a bad singer, but then he went for Cats, and well,
James Corbin is the chubby dude that hosts shows, correct? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And he's a great host too. He has a lot of great ideas. I think he entertains me. The show does.
Yeah, I could understand that. I think he's annoying as fuck, personally.
It depends on. Well, see, we're also blessed with
opinions,
like things like opinions, but YouTube. Being able to, or Rumble or any of those, being able to seek out the part of James Corbin that makes me laugh. You know what I mean? It's not like I can watch him all the time, but that's what I'm saying, is that whatever you've seen of him may not be what I've seen of him, because not only is, we won't even get into algorithms right now, but even my mind wants to see a certain, when he does the karaoke with the people, I find that pretty entertaining. I'm like, okay, because I'm a singer. I'm a, you know what I mean? I karaoke like crazy. So, but that's one of the major things I see of him. So I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. You may see him in interviews and stuff where he's being flamboyant.
I don't care about flamboyant. He's just absolutely obnoxious. I think he's obnoxious. I mean, even in the singing videos, I think he's obnoxious. I think it's cool that he has all these singers on and they sing to different their songs. Like that aspect's cool. Crazy? But I think he's fucking obnoxious. And that's funny because I love slapstick comedy and obnoxious comedy because I'm myself obnoxious, like extremely. But he is just over the top obnoxious, and I just want to slap him in the face sometimes. I'm just like, wow, dude, do you not know how to shut the fuck up? Wow.
No.
No. The answer to that question is definitely no. But that's just an opinion. I mean, I don't.
I've been using that wrong. Sorry. I was just informed by Mex, my friend, that I've been using the Spanish word wrong.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we won't get into that. It wasn't like that bad. It just, I was like, oh.
Nah, I got you.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just basically never fit. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the word you're supposed to use. They're both just common words.
I got you.
It'd be like, hey, park your car in the bathroom.
No.
He probably means garage, and then just let me go because I'm from Maine.
We don't speak Spanish up here very often. It is a rare occasion we speak French. And we don't even speak proper. Yeah, we don't even speak proper French. We just, our English is improper and our French is improper.
So here, I did this. Just came to me, and it's a perfect. Tell me if this is perfect. We have, our English is so bad that we try to use a native language to the area, but we're also so bad at that we have to fill in the words we've forgotten from the native language with the new English words we know. And that right there is Maine Pringlish.
You know, it's interesting. I always thought it was a perspective of, we got parts of our accent from Massachusetts, and we were like, people from Massachusetts are so fucking annoying. We're going to take this accent and just make it into our own because we don't want to be associated with them anymore. That's really where I was going with that. That is my perspective.
Really hate people from Mass, huh?
Dude, I used to date people, a person from Mass. I didn't date people from Mass. I dated one person from Mass.
I love that it was so bad that you have based an entire state. I love it. I've done it. I'm like,
it was no, it wasn't a bad relationship. I mean, it didn't end great, but there are people from Massachusetts that I do like. I'm not saying I hate them. Actually, people. Just, there's a lot of people from Massachusetts that I think are annoying. I can say the same for Maine. I think there's a lot of people from Maine that I find annoying.
There's entire towns and cities I can consider annoying.
Yep. Lewiston, Auburn, Portland.
He's just going through the list of the top 5 cities.
Give me
These are all crap.
Bangor, Sanford.
Oh my god.
Springfield.
Bangor, it doesn't qualify anymore.
Doesn't?
There are so many abandoned areas in Bangor now. The mall is nothing. I think there's just a few stores in there. Like, I had to drop my kid off there, and the parking lot is like,
it's like the mall in friggin' Lewiston, Auburn.
No, 1,000 times worse. It has. It's literally. It's all broken. Everywhere. Literally the biggest spot you can have is probably 3 feet. That's not some sort of broken, and it's not like 4-wheeling where you're bouncing.
I know what you mean.
But it's literally like it shakes the whole time. And I'm like, that's the whole Bangor Mall now. The strip malls are empty. There's big ass buildings, because it boomed. It was crazy. I remember me and Box actually took our girlfriends up and we went to the casino. But even on during the day when we weren't at the casino, everything was just crazy, booming, busy. But yeah, it doesn't look like it anymore.
They all moved to Portland.
Yeah, probably.
Well, the pandemic probably didn't help it.
I'd like to see the business count in Bangor pre and post pandemic, or wherever we are now.
I have no doubt in my mind, especially up there. I mean, Bangor, for what it is, that's the closest city for everyone up north. There is no city after Bangor. That's it. You're now in rural Maine. Close to it.
Yeah, you have to get into Canada before then you get to the next city.
Well,
do you consider Callus or Caribou? Those aren't cities.
Those aren't cities. Those are towns, bro.
Yeah,
they're
the whole way up. So, yeah,
bigger towns. They're like Winthrop. That's what those are.
Right. Yeah. So basically, you will be in Canada before you hit the next city.
Lincoln is the next city, but that's not a city.
Nope.
I mean, where I go to camp, I'm literally, I think I'm an hour from Canada. I could keep going and be in Canada. So, nice. I mean, no phone reception, nothing.
I got that trophy right there that's just out of sight. Right there. Last time I was in Canada.
Canucks.
Beating up on Canadians on the pool table. It's a weekend.
Cheers. Well, I think we've gone quite a long ways. What do you think about calling it here?
Sounds good, brother.
All right, buddy. So, welcome back to the show if you're watching. And if you're watching it in the future, we've already posted like 5 shows. This was when we came back, as you watch back on previous podcasts. This is where we came back from that long extended. Anyways, we appreciate you all for watching. We're so happy that you joined us. You know, if you go ahead and comment down in the boxes below, it really helps us out. If you go ahead
We'd really like to add a segment of the podcast where we can answer things in the comments. So in order to do that, we need things in the comments.
Yeah, so stop making us do all the fucking work. Go down to the comment section, comment, so we can answer the comments. For fuck's sakes. My God, you guys are fucking lazy out there, man. I have to do all the work. I have to do all the editing. I don't see any of you volunteering. None of you are volunteering to do all the editing. None of you. Instead, you guys just watch our channel like we're some kind of entertainers, and that's it.
I held back everything I could do to not do Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Yes.
But yeah, I appreciate you all for watching. I really, hope you guys comment, subscribe. Subscribe helps too. You could subscribe. Like the videos. It doesn't. It's free. I don't even we don't have a join button. You don't even have to pay a dime. All you have to do is click a button. God, you guys I don't know what I'm paying you for. I don't understand why I'm paying you.
Wasting money.
Go ahead and hit the like button if you like the video. If you don't like the video, then don't click the like button.
You can hit the dislike button, but wait, nobody sees it.
Well, I mean, you can get an add-on, but you have to go through all that work. I mean, you guys won't do any other work anyways.
So you won't do that.
Yeah, so you won't even do that anyways. So you won't even go install the add-on to see how many dislikes we have. Anyways, again, I appreciate you all for watching. I'm sure Morbid does too. I don't know. He's kind of a jerk. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. And that is positivity
over negativity.
Yo, have a good one.